So we found that there's many challenges across financial services and banking. It's really being led by the increased complexity for the banks, the increased demands from the customers. And what it's resulting in is banks, financial institutions are looking at ways to become more of a platform to reach new customers, to get deeper with their existing customers. And I think from the customer side, they're expecting these connections to be there as they experience their financial life outside of just in banking. They're expecting it from their financial providers.
Blockchain and DLT have been the main technology game changers in the recent years. Can you briefly explain your company long-term strategy within the financial sector?
When we started R3, we began the company in a lot of ways backwards. We started with our customers first and then tried to assess what's the right product fit for them. And one of the big requirements that we saw was the ability to connect participants and the ability to get in sync with a set of shared facts, but do it in a way where you still enable privacy. If you look at the regulatory backdrop of today, it will only increase in the future. And we are firm believers that everyone should be in charge of their own data, whether you're an individual or an institution. And we think that DLT Blockchain Technology has an immense role to play in that. Whether it's digital identity or whether it's the aspects of a portfolio that customers, banks, participants need to be in control of their own data. That's when the peer-to-peer nature of Corda is extremely powerful. Be able to deliver on the promise of what I see is what you see.
Regulation plays a big part in the banking industry. How do you see central banks' stance towards DLT? How can GDPR detriment the power of blockchain and DLT?
R3 has spent a tremendous amount of time with regulators and central banks over the last 4 to 5 years. And interestingly, with this technology innovation, central banks and regulators are embracing the technology. They view this as a tool to help them do their jobs better. Now, that has to be coupled with aspects of GDPR and privacy, where you have to be able to figure out how can you have the benefits of blockchain technology, which is sharing data, but also have the privacy and the security that regulators will need. Because as we all know, regulators are very open to innovation as long as it reduces risks. And in our conversations with the regulatory community, they're looking at blockchain technology as a tool to increase the amount of oversight they have in markets while reducing risk for their economies or for the markets that they regulate.
Before to go to, a cyber threat organization carried out a major attack on one of the leading banks in Asia. Millions of exabytes with financial data are reported to have been stolen. Excuse me. News are just coming in. The malware seems to be spreading. A further 86 banks are believed to be affected. The attack is spreading all over the world.
That could never happen.
But it will, Ruth. The entire financial world will be put to the test on that day. But in the end, it will serve to reinforce it. Ultimately, companies will understand that cybersecurity is everything. The bank must become the definitive keeper. Look at this commercial, which came out a few months after the cyber crack.
When the time comes, all your passwords are stored in a single place and protected by blockchain technology, because your transactions in crypto assets deserve to be safer.
So, cryptocurrency does have a future then?
Of course, Ruth. But when we talk about crypto assets, we are talking about much more than just cryptocurrency. There are other financial assets to consider, such as smart contracts or crypto properties. Taking advantage of the new data management options, many companies will develop their own currency. And although the input and output will continue to be in dollars, euros, or yens, most microtransactions will be in cryptocurrency. All this will affect the prices of goods and services, accounting and taxes, as well as payment systems and transactions. The revolution will be complete.
But this can't be right. It's much too radical. I know the men and women in the financial world, and they'd never dare to let this happen.
You are right. But what if your business organization were obsolete? What you are seeing here is the result of the change in legalization of PSD2, PS3, PSD4, and others. With the launch of open banking, thousands of startups, crowdfunding foundations, and fintechs will finally gain access to the financial market. And nothing will be the same again.
But this is what terrifies me the most.
How can you defeat them, Ruth? How can you stop a torrent of creativity that has nothing to lose and everything to gain?
That's the question. How?
Well, if you can't beat them, join them. Open banking will involve the transformation of most of the world's banks. If you want yours to survive, you must become a factory of digital assets.
So we can help facilitate the innovation.
Banks will become more open and flexible structures. Through these horizontal organizations, the most brilliant minds in the world will unite to develop and improve stock market services and applications.
It makes complete sense, Entity. If we could leverage all of this energy and make the shift work in our favor, I think we can help make this happen. I know what I need to do.
Then, my mission is done. Good luck saving your company.
I know what I need to do. I need to arrange a meeting straight away.
Hello, Ruth. Welcome to the present.
Global liquidity to any market, any country, any place, anywhere. Fully exchangeable to any currency, asset, or commodity. Transactions are settled in 4 seconds. XRP is traded 24/7, 365 days a year, everywhere in the world. Removing friction from global trade, removing barriers, removing borders. XRP transfers value anytime and all the time. From you to any place on earth.